Hi everyone! If you haven't guessed already, I'm here at Giraffe Manor in Nairobi. If you want to find out more about the amazing conservation work they do with a highly endangered subspecies of giraffe, then either contact us or check our website. For now, I just want to take you over our flight from London yesterday and coming into Kenya, which was a really, really enjoyable experience. Heathrow was much busier than it was when I came through a month ago, but still social distancing and much more strict on people wearing masks, which was brilliant. The flight was only about 30% capacity, which was very nice for us, but felt a little bit sad for Kenya, for people coming in. It was the first flight into Nairobi, so I guess people are just waiting until they know more. Arriving at Nairobi, it was such a quite daunting but pleasant experience. It was so efficient. They got us off the plane in different groups, which meant the queues didn't build up in the airport. We then got on a bus, which again, because they didn't build up the queues, it meant that there was social distancing all the time and everyone was wearing masks. Some people from the airport were in hazmat suits to disinfect everything, and it just felt very slick, very efficient. So we all got on a bus, socially distanced, not overcrowded. We were then all lined up in 4 different groups and checked our COVID certificates, which you have to enter Kenya. We then went to the health department and they checked our temperature, and then straight through to immigration. And the nicest thing about it was the welcome we got from the immigration staff. Lovely Paulette, who I think Betty's about to get angry with me because I've run out of treats. Should I take some more? And thank you. Anyway, we were straight through and we were met by a lovely girl called Paulette who did our VIP meet and greet, and what was so lovely is how happy she was to see us. She said she's been at home for 4 months with no work, so bored. She went and got our luggage while we were doing our visas, and we were straight out of the airport and off we went. It was absolutely blissful. So that's it for now. I'm flying to the Mara today, and I'll be updating you from a safari camp called Cottar's about their camp protocols and obviously the migration, which we'll be seeing in full flow with hopefully no people. Thanks for tuning in. Hi everyone, as promised, I just want to update you on camp protocols within Kenya. I am at Cottar's camp in the Masai Mara, which is just amazing, so wild, so remote. It feels incredible to be somewhere like this after kind of the pressures of COVID and the lockdown. If I start with back of house, and it's worth noting that all of the measures I'm going to talk about now have to pass a test put in place by the Kenyan government. So every single camp and hotel that wants to open has to have an inspection beforehand to make sure they're meeting with the guidelines set out. So you can guarantee that wherever you're going to stay, these are going to be the protocols in place because they've had to pass this inspection. Back of house, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's a team of people in hazmat suits with defumigators. They defumigate your luggage when you arrive. They are defumigating the vehicles when you've used them, so that's after every single drive. They're defumigating your room after you check out to go on a game drive, so every morning and every evening. And then in the kitchen as well, there's a huge amount going on there. There's isolation booths, there's desanitization, the staff are being checked twice a day for their temperature, and it's a major operation, and that's the main protocols that the camp has to pass to ensure it's safe. Front of house, you've now got the client part, so this is to keep the staff safe from the clients. Hand sanitizer is everywhere and it's hands-free, so you just put your hands underneath and it comes out, you don't have to touch it. Temperature checks are done on arrival and recorded, and I presume they're done later on in the week as well, possibly when we leave, so I'll let you know about that. And social distancing, which we are all used to now. There are signs everywhere within the camp on where to stand, how to socially distance, which we could argue is unnecessary, as we all know how to do it now, but that is the law here, so you have to abide by the law. But essentially, dining is done at opposite ends of the dining tent, so you're sat well apart. The rules on masks are that if you're sat, say, in the sitting room or in the dining room in your group, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're going into an area with all the staff, or if you're going into an area with all the other clients, then you should wear a mask. So that's quite straightforward. And to be honest, these camps are so private. You have a private guide. You are not coming into contact with other clients. So you're very rarely going to have to wear a mask. And to be honest, at this point in the pandemic, you're probably used to wearing one by now anyway. But it won't affect your safari at all. When you're out on a game drive, it's completely up to you whether you wear a mask or not. You are already sat at least a metre away from your driver, and you're outside. The vehicles are open, so science has proven that it's very difficult to catch COVID outside. Again, you're given your own bottle of hand sanitizer when you arrive, which you can use all the time. Obviously, we recommend you take your own anyway. And it would be very difficult to catch COVID off a game drive vehicle when you're basically outside in the wind and the fresh air. So that is the basics on Kenyan camp protocols. And just to reiterate, that is going to be rolled out across every single camp because you have to pass the inspection to open. So we're really happy with those. I mean, I think even arriving at Nairobi Airport, it's been very impressive here since we landed. I mean, the internal flight was amazing. They had a defumigator machine which you walk through, which was a new experience, as did our luggage. And we think the measures in place here are very impressive and really encouraging for future travel and for people to feel safe and for the staff to be safe, which in turn means they can all get back to work, which they're desperate to do, to put food on the table, and also, drive forward the conservation, which is such a big part of these private conservancies like the one I'm sat in now. Tomorrow I will be talking to Calvin Cottar, whose family set up Cottar's Camp, and he's got an amazing family history, but is also a passionate conservationist, and they do a lot here with the Cottar's Conservation Fund, and we'll be hearing all about that and the effect that COVID has had on conservation, and it's a big problem at the moment. That will be out on Friday, but in the meantime we'll be sharing lots of wildlife videos. We're in the thick of the migration here and hope to see lots and lots of amazing things. Thanks for tuning in. Hi everyone. Before I move on to the beach tomorrow and share beach protocols with you, I wanted to just talk a little about conservation. Before I do, it is worth noting I'm not an expert. We do what we can as agents, obviously donating to different appeals and projects which are close to our hearts. And obviously every single time you go on safari, part of that fee is donated towards the projects that the camps run. Every single camp that we work with has projects, whether it be schools, hospitals, anti-poaching, leasing of land to keep it for a conservancy, or just simple medical treatment for the local community. Obviously, with the lack of tourism during COVID, that has stopped basically overnight. And on top of that, people have lost their job overnight. Through no fault of their own, a few of them have turned to bushmeat poaching. They've got to eat. And this means that some of the conservancies are finding snares, and some of the bigger wildlife, which they're not trying to catch, also gets caught up. That's just one element of this whole very sad situation. The other element, of course, is that a lot of the projects funded by the camps and funded by tourism have had to stop almost overnight. And we're going to have to start thinking outside the box and how to raise money for those things, because we can clearly not rely on tourism at the moment. And to be honest, we do need to think outside the box anyway, because this could happen again any time, and then these projects just come to a stop, and that's very much to the detriment of the community and the wildlife. So I've got a few thoughts, and we'll be thinking about that over the next few days and launching next week, hopefully a plan which will do a lot more to help. And there's a few really good initiatives going on in the UK at the moment, including a really great one called Ride for Rangers, which anyone can get involved with. You can do it on a bike, on a horse, on your feet. It's a challenge similar to others that have gone around, but the money's going directly to Africa, and it's really, really worthy cause. Look it up on any of your social media outlets. And we've got some really, really, really great thinkers in the conservation world, and I'm sure they will be coming up with amazing things we can do to support the projects without actually being able to travel here. So I just wanted to draw it to everyone's attention because it's lovely for me to send you videos from all these amazing camps and say how wonderful it is and it is safe. But the bottom line is the reason all of these camps exist is to conserve the wilderness and the wildlife and the communities that live here. So that is the focus, and I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew that. So going forward, when we're making our announcements next week, they can see that that is what we all need to be concentrating on right now, not kind of thinking about a holiday, but thinking about how does our holiday impact the surroundings and also the people who live there and the wildlife. And I think that's going to be a major thing for people going forward. So watch this space. We'll obviously make a big song and dance about it next week once I've finalised exactly what we're going to do. And look up Ride for Rangers and have a think if there's anything you think you can do, or if you want to know more about certain projects happening out in Africa, we can talk through them with you. And if there are any that particularly kind of pull at your heartstrings, we can arrange donations to go directly to them. So that's it. Tomorrow I'll be at the beach and updating you on the situation there. Hi everyone, I am here at Alfajiri Private Villas on the Kenya coast. I cannot tell you how fantastic that first swim in the sea was, and to feel the sand between your toes. It is really a life-changing experience after what we've all just been through and we're all still going through. Alfajiri is the perfect place to come post-COVID because it's all private. So there's 3 private villas. I'm in Cliff Villa. I will take you over all 3 villas in the next 3 days. We're here for 3 nights. Essentially, Cliff Villa is amazing. It's 3 large bedrooms and 1 twin bedroom for the kids, and a huge swimming pool, direct access to the beach, and tons of areas to have lunch, breakfast, supper, relax on the day beds. It's really comfortable. So very excited to be here for 3 days. Very warm welcome when we arrived. We were met by Joffrey, who's going to be looking after us for the next 3 days. We won't come into contact with anyone else, so very private. They do offer a free massage per person every day. That's part of the package, and so we'll be seeing a masseuse as well. Apart from that, we're only going to be seeing Joffrey. The villa will be desanitised twice a day, which is a really good policy that they put in place. And your bedrooms will be desanitised twice a day, once when they make up your bed and also when they do turn down in the evening. So again, it feels very safe and you're just not coming into contact with other people. So it's the perfect place to relax after a safari, and I can't wait to kind of show you around in the next few days. So watch this space.